Welcome in Wednesday edition Oxford Exxon Podcast. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford studio here this morning. We'll talk about a number of different topics. Kind of maybe let you guys in the stream guide us a little bit throughout today. Another rainy day in Lafayette County. I think all week is rainy. I think it's just every single day through Friday or so as well. So that and more coming up today on a show brought to you every single day by the Oxford Exxon, Highway 6 West in Oxford. You can get your lunch specials. They change every single day there. Each day they come with a piece of bread and any size fountain drink that you wish. Head in, clean convenience store, and more ribs. They can take care of dinner tonight. For you, wet or dry, pick them up. They'll be ready to go there with the Oxford Exxon and Blue Sky location here in Oxford. Neal rocking the Blue Sky hoodie this morning. And again, coming to you from the Clark Ford studio.
We are, Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900 is the number. Call it. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. It's right to the bottom line. There's no hassle. There's no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do. And let's hop into a Clark Ford today, 662-257-1900. Guest at some point this week or next week or whenever will join on the Rafters Music and Food Hotline. Rafters Music and Food on the Square in Oxford. It's also a great place to host your holiday get-together, your Christmas party, your gathering. They can accommodate parties of 10 to 500. 10 to 500. I accidentally hit the wrong button. I apologize. Great food with a Cajun flair, holiday drinks, and a festive atmosphere. Call Jeannie at 601-842-0948 to request a catering menu and reserve a date.
You hosting like 9, 10 holiday parties. Got a bunch coming up here in the next 3 weeks, something like that. Just every different segment of your life.
Laura had her holiday party with her friends on Sunday, and I believe that is the extent of my holiday party plans.
Kids staying home the whole break, or what? Carolina Campbell going back earlier than usual, or what? What's kind of their plan?
Let me see if I know. I know Campbell's going to Shreveport to visit a friend on her birthday before she comes home. Caroline's coming home the day I leave for Vegas. And then I think they're both here for a while. They both have stuff. Caroline's going to Colorado at one point. I think she's going to New Orleans at one point. My children, thank God, have social lives that are much, 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 much more social than mine.
So yesterday,
yeah, I'm the man about town. I mean, it is the most bizarre thing. I mean, we just don't really know that many people. I mean, we've lived here for 15 years. I think Laura does. I don't. I really don't. I feel like I don't feel like a stranger. That's the wrong word, but I just sort of exist on my own plane, sort of.
On your own plane.
In a lot of ways. I mean, like I know some of the fellow parents of Oxford high school soccer players.
Mm-hmm.
And when Caroline was in dance, I knew some of the other Chargerette parents. Sort of the extent of it. That's kind of it.
Just our daily update. Nothing from San Jose State or Eastern Michigan yet as we get to this Wednesday morning.
Not really.
You're not getting taken up on this very
no.
well. It is not gaining the traction that would be very easy to gain traction from.
San Jose State appears completely disinterested. Eastern Michigan has what I would call very tepid interest.
Like you're a little bit of a nuisance, but they might swat you to make you go away.
That's maybe fair. And look, I take no really easily, and so
you're not pressing.
No. Like, I think if the shoe were on the other foot, Tyler would be pressing. I'm kind of like, all right, whatever. I mean, cool.
So what is the situation from what you're wearing? What is the strategy here?
I mean, I can't wear
a coat
or a hoodie.
Those are the rules.
That's it. The rules there.
Can you wear a sweater under the T-shirt?
I'm gonna wear I have a thermal like base layer shirt that I'm gonna wear.
Long johns are more like a running Under Armour kind of under thing.
I bought the Smart Wool.
Okay.
Insulated bottoms to go under whatever pants that I wear. And then I'll employ some hand warmers, and got a scarf, hat, gloves. It'll be all right. It's 3 hours, 4 hours.
It'll be fine.
I'll make multiple trips to get some hot chocolate or coffee.
They'll run out.
They will.
They'll
then
run
I'll
out.
still go because I'll find warmer spots in the stadium.
I'm just gonna check and make sure they're still out. Just gonna.
There was no rule about sleeves.
Well,
there
that
just
was an
wasn't a
error.
rule. I mean, there wasn't a rule about sleeves, and I'm not going to go do.
Y'all needed some attorney help. This was not very well put together.
It was actually put together. It's just he started changing the rules. That's all.
When he was losing.
When he was winning.
That's what I meant. Yes.
Yeah. When he was losing, he probably was all 4 sleeves. But look, if you look at pictures of people at Boise games this time of year, they're pretty bundled up. I'm going to be cold. If the goal is to see me get really cold, I'm going to be cold. And frankly, I'm a lot lighter than I was the last time it was really cold.
It's like a polar bear. You don't have quite the padding.
I don't. I mean, this time a year ago, I was about 230. Now I'm about 192, 193. I don't have the padding. I'm going to get cold. If you want me to be really cold, I'm going to be really cold. So you get it. But I'm not going to sit out there and get like frostbite for the sake of it. That's stupid. 4 days, 5 days before Christmas, I'm just not going to do it.
Where are your seats as of now?
I don't know. The get-in price is like $11. We can get.
So do y'all have seats?
We'll buy seats.
Oh, you don't currently have them.
I don't know.
Because what are the good
Tyler
spaces?
may have already bought them.
Because what are the good spots to be for TV cameras and whatnot? I mean, how do we maximize your exposure?
That's all on them. I don't know. I've tried. Look, I've offered both Eastern Michigan and San Jose State a lot of publicity. In fairness to them, most of that publicity is in the Deep South, which is not exactly their markets.
Area.
So I don't know that they view it as that much of a boon for them.
But from a cost benefit standpoint, it's costing them very little. That's the thing.
Well, it's costing them almost nothing. I mean, it's costing them
it's a free space.
Whatever it costs for them to package a jersey and a helmet and a sweatshirt.
And the actual jersey and helmet and sweatshirt.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. But I mean, they're Adidas. They probably have 8,000 jerseys laying around. You know what I mean? I mean, you could.
I mean, Liberty got us one in like a day. I mean, this thing's very doable.
I mean, you know, what you don't know is like, are you getting to the right people?
In the new studio, you think we could have just like a freeze wall? We could put the Arkansas State, the Ole Miss, the Auburn, the Liberty helmet. See if Lambeth has a helmet.
Maybe put the word commitment above it. They walked into that one. I don't know. I mean, you would think they jump at it because any publicity is better than no publicity, but
Neal was referencing a social media campaign that is going around that has freezes, quote and picture that says, when your commitment to something is greater than your feelings, that's when you really get the results. Hugh Freeze. I think it's Danny Hugh Freeze. I think that's his full name.
I don't blame Hugh for that. I blame Auburn for that.
Yeah, I'm not blaming Hugh for that.
Look,
Hugh is doing everything he's supposed to be doing. He's doing exactly what you predicted a long time ago, what we all knew was going to be the case. He's striking every chord. All the recruiting visits are with Cadillac.
He's trying really hard.
He's going to kill the speech at the basketball game. Going to do all the body getters. I mean, just it's there.
It's there. He's trying really hard. They just need to help him a little.
Brian says that tweet caused a stir among some Auburn people as well.
I would think so. The guy's probably for the first time in his life listening to outside voices about things about marketing and PR. So you got to help him a little. Don't slit his throat while you're there. These are the undefeated days. You've got to maximize the undefeated days. He hasn't lost yet.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you get those months where you don't lose football games.
He's undefeated as the Auburn football coach. He's yet to lose a game as Auburn's head football coach, and you have to maximize those days in terms of building capital.
What will you do if whoever the side or the bleacher reporter is of the game would like to speak to you during the telecast?
I will protest.
About potatoes?
I will protest the unethical treatment of potatoes. I will be all in.
Can you explain on what the unethical treatment of potatoes is? What is unethical about
I've still got to think
of
about exactly what it is that's done to potatoes that's wrong. But look, they canceled Shark Week. So
you feel like that opens you up to a little more credibility here,
I mean, I think if I say that, maybe potatoes are made more plentiful for certain demographics than others, that maybe I would make some ground. I've just got to figure out exactly what that argument would be. That's not my strong suit.
Okay. Where are you sitting in Vegas?
I don't know.
Are y'all just going to the game? Like, there's no.
No, we got the Raiders are a quick U client, so we've got.
You got good stuff for the
the
Vegas Bowl.
Getting a tour of the Raiders practice facility and the whole thing.
Okay.
And then I don't know about the Vegas Bowl. They moved it up to earlier in the day, which is good.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, because the Patriots Raiders game, which was originally scheduled for nighttime, was changed because of the flex.
The day after.
Yeah, so that game now is a day game in Vegas.
Are y'all going to that game?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're staying in Vegas 2 days.
Yeah.
And the Potato Bowl is on what day?
Tuesday.
What are you doing on Monday?
Getting to Boise, and I think we're doing a show at a local Albertsons.
A local Albertsons?
They sponsor the bowl. I think Albertsons is...
So they're in.
Albertsons is far more in than Eastern Michigan and San Jose State.
Well, I mean, look, there's TVs in the South, too. I mean, Albertsons goes, hey, anything that adds an extra 100 eyes is an extra 100 eyes. Which Albertsons is Kroger?
It's about to, yeah, they are part.
There is a merger.
There's a merger that I think is pending.
Okay. Because if we could say Albertsons is not really our cup of tea down here, so we don't have those.
Apparently, Kroger owns a lot of grocery stores that aren't called Kroger.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I learned that in the last few weeks.
Okay. Take your word for it. Glad we got that all out of the way.
I mean, I'm offering free pub.
For whatever that's worth.
And apparently it's not worth much in Ypsilanti or San Jose. But I don't know. Look, the Eastern Michigan people were going to Boise yesterday, so I could talk to them.
Already?
Well, Ole Miss went to Houston. No, I mean to the advanced thing.
Oh, I was about to say,
like the Ole Miss people went to Houston yesterday.
Okay.
So they were, maybe they'll come back with the game on their mind and they'll look at this and go, hey, we should do this.
Because there's no reason not to.
No, there's no reason not to. I mean, frankly, if I were in charge of, seriously, and somebody down in Mississippi that had a podcast as big as ours, and ours is pretty big, I would say sure.
Why not?
I'm gonna get a box. I'm gonna throw a couple of T-shirts. I'm gonna throw a helmet. I'm gonna throw a jersey.
I mean, La Tech did this for you recently.
Yeah, if it were me, I'd throw one of the jerseys with the Potato Bowl thing sewn on already, and I'd FedEx
absolutely. That bad boy on down there.
Absolutely, I'd get it. I'd overnight it. You can write that off. That's easy. And I'd say, we'll take it.
I mean, one of those green helmets with the big E on the side of it.
And I'd say, you want a sideline pass? We'll give you a sideline pass. That's what I would do. But look, I'm not in athletic administration, and maybe it's more complicated than that.
You get a sideline pass, will you cheer on the sideline?
Yes.
For the Eagles?
Yes. Or the Spartans, whoever moves first.
Do you know a player on either one of these teams?
Yeah.
Other than the one you wished happy birthday
Kempton,
to the other day?
It's his birthday. Eastern Michigan had 9 guys make the All-MAC team.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Was that second in the league to Toledo?
I don't know. They had 9 guys on the All-MAC team. It's a good team.
What you're basically saying is you follow them on Twitter now, so you're seeing tweets throughout the day.
And comment on the tweets. They had a special teams player of the week. Yeah. Special teams are very important.
That's where you probably made a mistake not getting verified because they would see the replies every time you did it. it would pop up on their thing.
Yeah,
Probably made an error there.
Although, isn't it different now, the Elon's?
Is it?
Twitter?
I don't know.
With verifying and stuff? Been a big week at Twitter.
Has been a big week at Twitter.
We haven't touched it. That's been a big week at Twitter.
It's been like a big 3 weeks at Twitter.
Kind of felt like a big day yesterday at Twitter. I mean, because when the whole first Twitter files came out, I was like, well, that's not a lot. Now you find out the reason it wasn't a lot. So now the new Twitter files will come out, which could be interesting.
The Post has picked that up, right? And then who's writing about it?
Yeah, they were the ones that were, they wrote they're the one that got censored in the first place.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought.
$8 to get verified. You gonna pay $8
a month?
Are you gonna pay $8 a month to stay verified?
No, I'm not. No. I mean,
you do Twitter less now than you ever did before.
I scroll it as my media consumption.
Yeah.
But I frankly even want to call my list a lot more and break it down to where I'm just seeing stuff that I'm sort of following every morning. No, I mean I will run through it in the morning when I get up. When I kind of scroll through a couple of my, I've got 2 or 3 newspaper subscriptions. I'll scroll through those online, see if I've missed anything. I'll get a couple newsletters that I pull podcast topics from throughout the morning, and then that's about it. I mean,
I have used it a lot the last few days for transfer portal and keeping up with Major League Baseball.
No, look,
but I don't.
You can make Twitter whatever you want to make Twitter.
You can make it
It's like a trip to Vegas. You can be whatever you'd like for that bad boy to be.
It's like one cat called me out on Twitter this morning. I saw it early, and I was like,
About what?
Let's see. I'll find it. I can find it here. It says, it's Clutch Sports Ole Miss. He says, at Neal McCready, had Kiffin leaving at 85-15%, which is pretty disingenuous. That was maybe a point in time. I said he was never leaving. How did I know that? Go check receipts. Something tells me Clutch Sports Ole Miss also has the Rebels going 15-0 each and every season. There was a day where I probably would have fought back on that. Now I'm like, whatever. Cool.
I've had a lot of Auburn responses in my feed after I tweeted about Ole Miss fans being upset with the Texas Bowl the other day. A lot of win more games than you are who we think you are.
Well, look, but I'm going to say this. If it's in my mailbag, which has not been published yet because I want to go back and read over my answers one more time, make sure that I don't have 18 grammatical mistakes. But if you're really upset about the Texas Bowl, 2 things. Don't lose 3 out of 4. And Lane Kiffin wanted the Texas Bowl. Lane Kiffin wanted Florida or Texas. He either wanted to coach in a warm outdoor game or an inside game. Bottom line.
Yeah. They could have gone to Vegas. They didn't want to go to Vegas.
Could have gone to Vegas. Vegas wanted them. Could have gone to Nashville. Nashville wanted them. But Ole Miss put Nashville down the list. Kentucky put Nashville high on the list. The way it works, my understanding, is it's not the league sitting in there going, all right, well, here's what we're going to do. The league sent a list to everybody and says, rank your teams. I mean, to the bowls and said, rank your teams.
Yeah, and teams rank the bowls.
And to the schools, rank your bowls. And then we'll try to do something to make everyone as happy as possible within reason. And Ole Miss's rankings were the Florida Bowls and then Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And so Texas had a chance to get an 8-4 team.
Got it.
Took it.
Yeah. A little breaking news. Aaron Judge has agreed to a deal with the New York Yankees worth 9 years, $360 million.
Yeah. I was reading about that this morning. San Diego tried to get in on that late. The Giants yesterday, boy.
Impressed. Yeah.
How about John Heyman?
Dude.
Talk about a bad day. He won't live that day down for a long time. Very well-respected Major League Baseball writer broke yesterday, late afternoon, that Aaron Judge was in agreement with the San Francisco Giants. And that was buzzing everywhere at the time. He retracted it shortly thereafter. But he won't. And in that moment,
it's what sucks about it is you know that
We know how it
Yeah,
works.
I can easily get there on how you do it.
In that moment, he was probably right.
But
And Aaron Judge changed his mind. Because it was apparently buzzing in San Diego that Aaron Judge was going to the...
and it's where you always leave an out.
Well,
as of this moment.
Who's the woman that she covers the A's? Maybe she covers the Giants now. She's
Susie,
really good. Slusser?
Yes, married to another baseball writer.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
She's excellent.
Yeah.
And shortly after Heyman tweeted, she did a tweet that said just that, hey, there's a lot of buzz and there's some smoke here, but she left an out. I saw her getting criticized last night too, but she left an out. It was the Sokoloff mistake. When you say Aaron Judge is in agreement with the Giants, and then he's not, because then the Giants had to do the deal where they said, no, we haven't heard from him yet. And it makes you wonder what that was.
Susan Slusser.
She's terrific. Yeah. She's one of the best writers.
She now covers the Giants.
One of the best reporters/writers in sports. Yeah. She must just really like the Bay Area because she stayed out there forever.
She's covered A's and Giants.
Yeah, she's terrific. She's one of those
because her at one point her husband and her covered either the same team.
They were on the same beat.
And he would tell you he's nowhere near as connected and good as she is. No. And there's been several stories written that are pretty funny about how they sort of manage that because he's at a lower level and it's not the same thing.
He's not the bulldog.
There's been really, really good stories about basically how they'd be at the winter meetings together and one of them would have a scoop, for lack of a better word, and how you're not going to give it to them, but you'll kind of write it and be like, hey, I'm hitting publish in 30 seconds. You might want to make a call. Just heads up here. You're missing something.
Oh man, that would suck.
Oh, I mean, it's funny. What?
I catch myself defending Sokoloff more than I should, probably. Number one, I like John. Number two, a retraction. There's nothing to retract. In that moment, and this is the thing that fans do not like. What was true on Monday may not have been true on Wednesday. Things change.
Yeah.
Look, I firmly believe that on the Saturday night that Ole Miss lost to Arkansas, Lane Kiffin was going to Auburn. Now, can I prove it? I can't. Is there stuff that I heard that led me to believe that? Absolutely.
I have two questions that I wish I had answered to determine exactly what I think about the entire Twitter situation with Sokoloff from a sourcing standpoint, and then the motivations around it. I have two questions that I'd kind of like to know where those answers are or what he believed those answers to be to really gauge a correct opinion.
What's interesting is I believe that he had multiple sources. I believe one was John Cohen.
Which typically is a solo source.
And I think he had more sources than that. I'd love to know if any of his sourcing was based in Starkville.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd love to know why he gave Ole Miss 6 or 7 hours to answer and they didn't. Why didn't you answer? Because you could have shot it down at noon. Why didn't you? You could have at least done that. Or you could have seen him in the back of the room there that afternoon and said, hey, when this is over, can we talk to you? Before you write something, can we talk to you?
Yeah.
That could have been done. None of those things were done. So there's a lot there.
Yeah. No, it's much more complicated than 280 characters.
Yeah. It's... And then his editors should have looked at that tweet before it ran and said, no, it's too strong. Let's water this down. Let's
give exact days things.
Yeah,
you don't know exact days.
Let's leave wiggle room.
Yeah.
But I do believe that on that Sunday/Monday, Auburn believed that Lane Kiffin was taking the job. Auburn believed Lane Kiffin was taking the job on Friday, and that Auburn believed that Lane Kiffin was going to be available to media on Saturday.
Yeah.
I do. Now, there's also people there that will tell you that they were doing the whole Cadillac Williams thing. I don't know that that's as true as it was made out to be. Because if you think about it, if you know it now, the president is the one that fed the story to Tamil Saturday morning about Hugh Freeze. So he certainly wasn't worried about distractions for Carnell Williams and that team. He was worried about how's this story going to play, which makes me believe that if Lane Kiffin had taken the job, they would have pulled the trigger on Friday. Now, I'd love to know whether Cohen was putting heat on Kiffin in hopes that Kiffin would pull out, or was he putting heat on Kiffin in hopes that the fallout would be so nasty in and around Oxford that by Thursday Kiffin would go, you know what, I can't stay here.
Because it also plays into the other part of this, and we'll stop, is that Kiffin had spent days, and I do think, this is correct to Chris, saying almost kind of intentionally some negative Ole Miss things, trying to get people motivated in a way to raise money and do those different things. You know what I mean? That all plays in together. So it's like there's this thought of, well, what was the purpose there?
Right.
And it was a really strange situation.
And it was either one of two things. It was either I'm going to try to motivate these people, or I'm going to start to create a storyline about why I'm leaving. Mm-hmm. And both are conceivable. I don't know. And it's possible, as crazy as this sounds, that it was both.
Yeah. Oh, there's people that go, hey, he wanted the Auburn offer so he could turn him down. People that think that. They know people. They
there are absolutely informed people who believe that Lane Kiffin wanted to get offered by Auburn so that he could turn it down.
Yes.
Is that true? I don't know. There are informed people who have told us that independent of one another.
That truly believe it. And said it was all crap. He was never going. He wanted to turn him down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they say. I don't know. I mean,
it beats me. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know John Cohen's motivations, but he certainly had something.
One of my mailbag questions that I still haven't decided how I precisely want to answer it was, if that doesn't happen on Monday night, is Lane Kiffin the coach at Auburn? I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't sit here and tell you yes, but I can't sit here and go no. Absolutely not. I mean, there were too many people who...
You would think a tweet wouldn't change things, but...
That tweet was wild, though.
Yeah.
That tweet led to...
Well, because you have...
It's more than a tweet. It was a story.
And you have to lead to, did Kiffin's reaction affect anything?
Right.
Because a lot of Auburn people went, whoa, hold on.
Yeah. Now, I still believe they offered him the job.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, 100%.
Did it change the offer? I don't know.
Yeah. Podcast brought to you in part by the Ole Miss Athletics Foundation. Speaking of, the Rebels headed to Houston to battle the Texas Tech Red Raiders in the 2022 Tax Act Texas Bowl. December 28th, 8 o'clock Central, the kickoff for that. To have your priority seats reserved, please request your order by Friday, December 9th. A couple days away for that at 5 p.m. Tickets on sale now at OleMissTix.com. And then remember, just to kind of help you guys out as the calendar year comes to an end, please consider supporting Ole Miss Athletics for year-end giving to help them sustain their momentum that they currently have from 2022. For more information on ways to give to Ole Miss Athletics, please visit the websites givetoathletics.com or championsnowolemmiss.com, or simply call the office, 662-915-7159.
Walk-On Sports Bistro puts everything they've got into bringing you game day with the taste of Louisiana. Dig into their mouth-watering, made-from-scratch Louisiana cuisine. Po' boys, gumbo, voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads, all in front of 70-plus TVs, 40-plus ice-cold beers on tap. Let Walk-On take care of your tailgating needs as well. You can order online at walkons.com or on their convenient Walk-Ons app. Visit their Walk-Ons in Oxford or Ridgeland today. If you're still wondering what to do about those last-minute stocking stuffers, need a gift for that random relative or goofy friend that gives you something, and you usually aren't prepared to return the favor, Dead Soxy has you and their feet covered. Head over to deadsoxy.com. Use the code Rebel Grove at checkout for savings exclusive to their partners. That's right, Rebel Grove gets you 30% off and free shipping on all orders. There's no minimum. This deal's not available to the general public. Happy holidays from Dead Soxy, and as always, stay Soxy. The College Corner is your one-stop Rebel shop with 2 locations in the Jackson area. In Ridgeland, it's next to Fleet Feet. In Flowood, it's next to Half Shell. If you don't live in Jackson, it's okay. Go to collegecornerstore.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Instagram. Chase's book will be there this weekend. Is that the plan?
What's that?
Your book will be at College Corner this weekend?
Yeah, tomorrow, actually. Yep.
Okay.
100%.
So whether you're tailgating in Oxford, home gating with friends and family, the College Corner has you covered for game day. The largest selection of Rebel gear in Central Mississippi. We're also brought to you by The Rogue. It's your destination for fine men's clothing. Their stylish hand-select pieces from top designers, from work to lifestyle to nightlife. There's the perfect something for everyone at The Rogue. All the best items from Peter Millar, Martin Dingman, Jack Victor, Halsey, all the good brands. You know them. 4450 I-55 North in Jackson, or therogue.com. And we're brought to you by Comer Heating and Air. Comer Heating and Air and Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. Different names, same great products and services. If you live in Oxford, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding area, call the people at Southern 662-429-4429.
Podcast also brought to you by Style Assembly, Oxford's newest women's boutique on the square. Clothing, jewelry, shoes, purses, sunglasses, accessories, and more. Huge weekend holiday sale coming up Friday, December 9th, Saturday, December 10th. That's this weekend. Everything in the store will be 30% off. Podcast listeners and Rebel Grove members can mention this ad at checkout and get another 10%. That's 40% off Friday and Saturday. So don't forget also to have that special lady in your life fill out a wish list at the store. Kate, the owner, and her team will leave it on file. So all you have to do is call or stop by and choose something off the list. You get the exact gifts she wants down to the correct colors and sizes, leaving gift wrap it for you for free. They can also ship straight to your door in time for Christmas if you don't live near Oxford. So stop by the store. That's 203 North Lamar next to Blind Pig, or call them at 662-638-3163. They'll also accept orders by DM at Shop Style Assembly on social media. I was going to run through these grades real quick from yesterday. We kind of mentioned a couple of them, but I had the list out. This is the Athletic, they gave Alabama a B, just a straight B. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
No issue really at all. I mean, they did go to the Sugar Bowl. You can't kill them on that.
No.
C+ for Arkansas.
C+?
Uh-huh.
Ooh, no, it's too. That's you're great. No, it's way too favorable.
C-? Where you at?
I mean, I'm C- at best. They did get to 6 wins. They got to a bowl. So you can't give them a failing grade. But, boy, you got to think about a D.
The Hogs sniffed elite airspace early in the season and ascended into the top 10 of the polls, but never returned after a loss to Texas A&M. They kicked off a 3-game losing streak. The dominant win over Ole Miss is its signature win, but the sting of a loss to Liberty followed that with losses to Virginia Tech, UConn, and New Mexico State lingers. KJ Jefferson's injury had an acute impact on the season, but 6-6 is still 6-6 and will lead to a lot of offseason grumbling. Arkansas's honeymoon with Sam Pittman is over, and he has a lot to prove in 2023, though he's incredibly far from a hot seat.
Oh, I don't know how far he is from a hot seat.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'd go D+. D+.
Hot seat.
Not hot seat, but the seat's warm. Seat's warm.
He can't use injured quarterback?
You can't use an injured quarterback when you keep running the damn quarterback as much as they ran him. You can't use injured quarterback when you lost to Texas A&M with a healthy quarterback. Should have won that game.
Because in some ways they got bailed out by nobody knowing how bad A&M was going to be. They played them early.
Look, they got bailed out. They get bailed out. They're up 14-0 in that game and driving down the field, and they got cute. Don't get cute. That game got lost multiple spots, not just a field goal. I mean, as he's known in our house, I don't think it's fair to blame Cam the kicker. Cam and Caroline are friends, so they're on the same. They did a big project all semester. It was a 4-person project, so
they were half the team.
They were half the team, and they're good friends. He's apparently a really nice kid. It's not fair to blame one kick on a game like that. And then you look the Liberty game. Who you blaming that on?
Yeah, just
Liberty. They got the signature win over Ole Miss. Had opportunities against LSU. Could have done that. They just no. I mean, it's a C- D+. Not a fail, because 6-6 is not a failure, but it's not good. C+ is too strong.
A D for the Auburn Tigers.
Oh, I think you could give them an F.
You could.
Yeah.
Only Cadillac Williams saved the Tigers from a fate much worse. Under his interim leadership, the Tigers ended the season with high morale, including a win over A&M. Harsin sunk this team deeply, and had he finished the season as head coach, it would have been an F. Williams had the team moving the ball with a pretty good ground game with at least an offensive identity, says Aaron Suttles.
That's fair. Okay. I'll buy that.
Okay.
I'll give a D.
A D for the Florida Gators.
A D?
A D.
Huh. I just don't think they're as talented as people think they are. I think if you took that, I think if you took that same exact team and put them in
put a Wildcat logo on the helmet.
Yeah, that's fair. I think people would go,
C, man.
I'd go C-, sure. Maybe they should have been a game or two
Given
better.
a C- midseason grade after a 4-3 start, the Gators are trending up as they outscored A&M in South Carolina 59-6 over a stretch of 6 quarters. Then they spiraled where they lost at Vanderbilt, lost a Black Friday scoring frenzy at Florida State, and limped home at 6-6. A team that posted a season-opening victory over eventual Pac-12 champion Utah couldn't sustain its energy or execution, even against the schedule that Sagarin rated the nation's 11th toughest, finishing 500, which was a discouraging debut for Billy Napier. Yeah, that's not quite fair. Again, if you have the 11th toughest schedule and you're not very good,
right?
You're 6-6. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's a C.
It's a C.
I mean, we're not going to go crazy. You don't get a B.
No. It's a C. Maybe even a C-, but it's a C. The more I think about it, it's a C to a C-, and Arkansas is a D+.
Oh, Florida a little higher than Arkansas.
Yeah.
A+ for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Sure.
Yeah. Says anything less than a perfect grade would be nitpicking.
That's fair. I mean, you're the defending national
champ.
They
mentioned Missouri and stuff.
Yeah, but you're going to get everybody's best shot.
They lost 15 players to the NFL draft, and they're 13-0.
What was Kirby going to say that day in Como? Hey, guys, these guys could beat you. You can say it. I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
And they're like, Coach, we watched the film.
Yeah. No, they can't.
No, they can't.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you're
in a dog fight, and it's a mess.
You see, it's sports. You see it all the time.
A C for the Kentucky Wildcats.
Okay. That's fair. Because it's 7-5. Had some injuries.
Credit to Mark Stoops at 7-5 is a C.
Tells you a lot about what that right there is why they've given him the contract they've given him.
Yeah, that actually is a compliment.
Yeah.
Had you given Kentucky a B, you'd be like, well, we just don't think you can do shit. So, okay.
Yeah,
great.
That's fair.
But they've spent 3 weeks in the AP top 10 and went 7-5.
It's not dating him, David. They're just friends.
An A for the LSU Tigers. You win the West, you get an A.
Okay.
With a team that has a first-year coach. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You lost 4 games, but one of them was to Georgia, so you went 9-3.
I'm gonna go.
I could go B+.
I'm gonna go A-. Okay. That's fine. But I'm not just giving a straight A. I gotta give an A-. But okay.
Brian Kelly took a roster that played a bowl game with 39 available scholarship players a year ago and won the SEC West. That's how simple this is for me. He took over a program with issues in discipline and culture and has LSU running like a strong organization that beat Alabama and Ole Miss in the process. Yep. This year wasn't perfect, but it's a massive sign LSU's headed in a right direction.
Agree with every word of that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
A- for Mississippi State.
8-4.
8-4.
With an average team. They didn't have an elite wide receiver. Didn't have that elite running back that they typically have. Weren't very good up front. Lost Charles Cross.
They won most games they could win. That is why they have this. Brody Miller writing the paragraph for The Athletic. He says the under-the-radar Bulldogs had the definition of take care of business year that solidified Mike Leach what Mike Leach is doing in year 3. They won almost all their 50-50 SEC games and took down higher-ranked Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl. 8 wins is an accomplishment in Starkville.
Okay. I'd probably go
a little high.
I'd probably go B+.
Like there. Kentucky was the other way. That's actually sort of a signing of, hey.
That's kind of you petting the puppy's head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't expect much, and nice job.
Oh,
I mean, looking back, they had a chance to beat LSU early.
I mean, that's kind of saying to the puppy, that's a good stretch. Look at you. You want a treat? You sit. Good boy. Yeah.
Yes, Chauncey, the Saints should fire Dennis Allen. The Saints are not going to fire Dennis Allen, in my opinion. That's a B- for Elijah Drinkwitz and the Missouri Tigers.
I'd probably give him a C, but okay. Okay. That's okay. Sure.
Tigers finished the season with 4 wins in 6 games, including victories over Arkansas and on the road at South Carolina, which went on to beat Tennessee and Clemson. A 6-6 record won't satisfy Tigers fans long term, but Drinkwitz's recruiting success and strong closing argument to reach a bowl game will help calm the complaints of the average person.
Yeah, it's probably fair.
Feels C+.
I would give him a C+, but okay.
He'd like to have a couple games back. Real close to 8-4.
Oh, well, he's real close to 9-3 and having an A on his schedule. I mean, that's where they were. They were right there. They were right there from having a big year. I mean, right there.
The Auburn game.
Oh,
Good
the Auburn.
God.
Auburn.
Georgia.
Kentucky. They were close.
As I said yesterday, they gave Ole Miss a B-, said in the big picture an 8-4 season after losing several star players is a good year. But for a 7-0 start with a top 10 ranking, the Rebels ending the year 1-4 with losses to LSU, Alabama, Arkansas, and Mississippi State leaves a bitter taste. It's fair.
Okay, sure.
Again, it's hard to give them much worse than a B- simply because going into the year, they hit the number.
I had them at 8-4. They went 8-4.
So it's kind of hard to go, hey, D. I mean, like, no.
No, it's in the B range.
Yeah. There was just nothing exceptional about it. You can make the argument their best win was Troy.
Well, you make a compelling argument that their best win was Troy. Look, it was a lot closer to disaster than it was to good. 2 of the losses were blowouts. LSU blew them out in the second half. Arkansas blew them out in the first half. Those are blowouts. They could have beaten Alabama.
And State.
Should have beaten State. Didn't. And could have easily lost to Kentucky.
Yeah.
I mean.
One a half second.
Truth is, they flirted with Tulsa more than they should have.
Yeah. That kid's in the portal, by the way, their quarterback.
Yeah.
All the quarterbacks are in the portal.
I mean, who's not in the portal right now? I mean, it's almost like the watch list. I almost sarcastically tweeted yesterday like 5 names and said they're not in the portal. New breaking.
Yeah. Breaking. Jackson Dart not in the portal. South Carolina, B+.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Strange up and down season for the Gamecocks, who no-showed in losses of 38-6 at Florida and 23-10 to Missouri, then closed with a stunning flourish, destroying Tennessee and Clemson's playoff hopes in consecutive weeks and scoring 94 points in those 2 games. That's like acing a very difficult final after a semester full of missed classes and blown up pop quizzes. The Gamecocks improved through the season, got to 8 wins, and have recruiting momentum. It's good work from Shane Beamer. Tennessee, an A. Said it was an A+ prior to the South Carolina debacle, but they get an A on the year. It's fine. Good with that.
Okay.
I mean, you lose 63-38 to Carolina, and you don't get an A+.
No, it's an A.
In a game, you've got to win.
But you went 10-2. Had a hell of a year.
It's fine. F for the Texas A&M Aggies.
Yes.
F.
Yes. And so far, the offseason's an F.
Oh, really?
18 kids in the portal.
Is that what it was?
18 as of this morning.
The Aggies went from a preseason top 10 to missing a bowl. They endured a 6-game losing streak, their longest in 50 years, and had a woeful offense. Even with the litany of injuries and all the youth that played key roles, they had too much talent to finish 5-7. And then a B+ for the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Again.
Said it might be an A if the Commodores had just shown up against Tennessee, but the 56-0, blah, 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 blah.
I mean, 5-7 at Vanderbilt with 2 SEC wins is an accomplishment. But A feels strong. It's a B.
It's a B.
And a B at Vanderbilt's an A most everywhere else.
He didn't have a bad year.
No.
He won a couple league games.
No. Will be interesting to see whether he can build any momentum off this. Can he get from 5 wins to 6 wins and into a bowl game? Can he build any momentum off of it? That's what I want to see. What was interesting about them, if you go back and watch some of their games, even the one they lost to South Carolina, they were physical. You saw some flashes of it in the first half against Ole Miss, where they showed up and they played with a pretty solid energy. So we'll see.
Podcast brought to you in part by Prime Shrimp, primeshrimp.com. 7 different flavors available for you, including their most recent offering, the New Orleans barbecue-style shrimp. That is one of their 2 latest, including the lemon and cracked pepper as well. So 7 different options there to take care of you for dinner tonight and make it easy for you. It is fewer than 10 minutes from freezer to plate, and they ship it directly to your door with a money-back guarantee. And remember, with your first order for Prime Shrimp, use code MPW, and you get $20 off. So it's $20 off your first order there with primeshrimp.com.
A-Stock Auctions is a Nashville-based online auction company with the mission to provide customers the power to name their price. All items at A-Stock start at just $1. That's right, every item starts at just $1. Shop now at astock.bid or download their app. Name your price on thousands of items from big-name retailers. A-Stock Auctions has multiple locations around Nashville that offer local pickups, so don't miss out. If you want it, bid it, win it. Solutions RX is a probiotic multivitamin supplement company. It was created by Ole Miss pharmacy alum Chris Cornelison. It's pharmaceutical grade, manufactured right here inside Mississippi. We tell you all the time about prescription support, which puts vitamins back into your body, helps with side effects from some of the diabetes, high blood pressure medications, cholesterol medications that lots of people take. Don't forget they've got all sorts of other vitamins and supplements as well. I've been taking just kind of a plethora of things from them, just supplements, vitamins. I've never felt better. You should try it also. Solutionsrx.com. Solutionsrx.com. Promo code OEP at checkout. You get 10% off your first order. Game Changer patches are the only 2-patch system available in the market to stop hangovers before they start. The warm-up patch used before or while you drink. Overtime patch used after you've been drinking to recover while you sleep. The all-natural ingredients keeping the game ready for the next play. Go to GameChangerPatch.com, promo code RebelGrove20 at checkout for 20% off your purchase. ACS is owned and operated by Clay McNutt, Baldwin, Mississippi. It's a complete electrical control system solution provider. It's a Rockwell Automation recognized system integrator. ACS has a full-time dedicated emergency service and troubleshooting staff and a UL508A panel shop. They've got so much more as well. Go to acsllcms.com or call 662-601-4381. And we're brought to you by Lamons. Lamons Fine Jewelry, 1126 North Lamar Boulevard in Oxford. It's been serving the Oxford area for 3/4 of a century. We were in there just the other day. The customer service is always incredible. They always take care of you. It's personal. Fine jewelry, watches, pearls, fashion jewelry. They've got it. Gold standard in fine jewelry. Visit them at lamonsfinejewelry.com or call them at 662-234-2777.
Podcast also brought to you by Johnston Hill Creamery, johnstonhillcreamery.com, 662-419-9201. Go to the website and see all their different offerings. You can order tons of it right there online. Charcuterie trays and their cheeses that are made in-house every single day. And that holiday menu I've been telling you about recently. They just need 24 hours notice to take care of you with the holiday menu. Everything from a holiday artisanal cheese box to a charcuterie box. They've got cookies for Santa. They'll do a dozen of those mixed in 3 of their great flavors, or a kid's box as well. Just a little treat for the kids in your life. So again, 24 hours notice. Take care of that. Great teacher's gifts as well. That's Johnston Hill Creamery, 662-419-9201.
Hope is such a bad thing.
What happened?
No, nothing's
We doing Cubs?
Report.
They
Cubs
signed Jameson Talon yesterday.
They did 2 really smart signings yesterday. And they let it get out that the checkbook's open, which
Once you do that,
builds expectations. Now a report.
Oh, it's a bad report.
No, it's a good report.
Okay.
It's just a scary.
You're sighing over there.
Cubs are, quote, well down the road, end quote, with Carlos Correa. Things I can't handle.
You'd rather them not be in it at all if they're not going to like. Don't
tease me.
If you were a really big college football fan, you would not want to do the recruiting where we do the thing all the way down to the end and finish second.
No, I don't know how y'all do it. that drives me nuts. Like,
we're getting Joe McKnight, baby.
Like,
and then
I cover recruiting. I'm like, I don't care where any of these kids go. Just go somewhere. Let's get it over with. I've been a Correa fan since he was coming out, and the Cubs were rumored to be taking him with the pick that they ended up using for Javi Baez because someone took Correa. I guess Houston took Correa ahead of them, and the Cubs didn't think Correa. They didn't think Houston was taking Correa. So Correa's been on my personal radar ever since, and I think he's one of the 5 or 6 best players in the game. And is kind of the dude, one of those kind of dude guys, you know?
So let's just play. They get Correa. what is next year's expectation? Like, where are they as a franchise?
I mean, Pittsburgh's bad, Cincinnati's bad, Milwaukee's dismantling.
They are.
Yeah, I mean, they just sent Colton Wong to Seattle. They've got budget issues. St. Louis is a better team, but St. Louis is getting a little older. The Prince of Darkness is gone at catcher. They're going to replace Yadier Molina.
You like Wainwright better than Molina?
I mean, I don't like either one of them, but like
y'all did a Cubs day for them.
I would never have done that.
You did a Cubs day for them. We're gonna stand up and applaud and thank them for their service.
It's a good thing I wasn't there. I would have been like, what are we doing? It would have been the equivalent of when Ole Miss did the Tommy Tuberville on the Hottie Toddy, and everybody's like, what? Yeah. Why are we honoring these people? They've caused nothing but heartache. And if I'd done it, the only thing I would have done is I would have taken the 25.
I mean, in all seriousness, just like Ole Miss, Arkansas. And today at Bottom Way Stadium, we welcome back Arkansas quarterback Brandon Allen, ladies and gentlemen. Like, what are you doing?
It's Hunter Henry.
I mean, all jokes aside, nobody went, why?
Oh, there was Henry's guy.
What
are we doing?
What won? Like, why? What was the...
Just
being nice?
Being respectful. I don't want to respect them. I would have said...
I mean, the Mets gave Chipper a trophy.
I would have said turn around, and I would have like shown the highlights from the 2015 NLDS. I mean, I would have been like, there you go. That's the only way I choose to remember you.
So when you were the Mets, you wouldn't have given Chipper something when he retired?
No. Did the Cardinals honor Ryan Sandberg?
No.
What are we doing?
So when is Correa expected to make a decision?
That I don't know. I mean, I think these things are happening soon. Give baseball credit. We talked about this before the weekend. They needed the winter meetings to be splashy, and they have been. People have talked about the winter meetings on national media. I've seen it.
Yeah, baseball did two things. The winter meetings have absolutely made more of an impact through media and consumption than they typically do. There's no doubt about that. The names help. And then nobody seemed to give two damns about the draft lottery yesterday for baseball. It didn't even register.
Yeah.
I mean, the Pirates get the first pick. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. They're going
it's kind of like, well, they always get the first pick. I give them credit for trying, though.
It was in our stream. Mentioned this yesterday. Ole Miss is completely doing its job to put a very competitive package together for Zach Evans in case he stays. That is what you should be doing.
Of course.
And if he leaves, you just tear it up.
It doesn't matter.
Good.
Yeah.
You provide him with an option that is lucrative should he decide to stay.
The homers on our beat are misreading that, and they are creating a level of hope for people that is not necessarily realistic. Ole Miss creating a path for him to stay is just smart.
It's good business.
It's just good business.
Yeah.
That doesn't equate to him staying. It's not like Quinshon Judkins, who when he signs it, you go, okay, well, you got him for at least another year. You might have to do this again next year, but you've got him for a year because Quinshon doesn't have the ability to go pro yet.
Mm-hmm.
Zach does. So this is kind of protecting yourself if. I mean, the expectation based on the people that I've talked to is still that Zach will likely go pro.
He'll get some draft grades, see how it goes, make a decision, and it makes it where if the grade is borderline or he does for some reason feel like he has a lucrative option to come back. In a pre-NIL era, you wouldn't have quite the same flexibility to do those things. So if you get into a weird middle ground, he would have a decision that is not completely stupid to come back.
But if he makes an NFL roster, what's his rookie scale salary there? If he's say a third, fourth round pick and he makes an NFL roster,
still pretty good.
I mean, you know, I don't know that you can compete with that.
Yeah,
I don't know that you should try to compete with that at running back. Here's the truth: you can go get running backs.
Yeah,
Ole Miss dropping $1 million or more on the running back position with considering all of the needs that they have. And let's run through the needs for a minute. They badly need wide receivers. I mean, that's not a need, that's a must. And they're expensive. Elite wide receivers are expensive. They badly need at least one tight end, maybe two, depending on what the deal is with Trigg.
They need an offensive lineman.
Multiple offensive linemen. And, hey, you're going to have to convince Jeremy James that you're not going to lie to him again this year. Not to come across too strong, but Jeremy James stayed at Ole Miss because they were moving him to left tackle.
Their returning wide receivers are Jordan Watkins, Dayton Wade, and J.J. Henry that played more than 28 snaps this season. That's it.
That's it, Jordan. And of those three,
assuming that Mingo doesn't come back, obviously, but
the expectation is Jonathan's gone.
Yeah. And assuming Jalen Robinson doesn't come back.
But even if he comes back, can you count on him?
Well, he only played 110 snaps.
So
that's fewer than 10 a game.
So the answer to that is not necessarily.
You haven't seen it.
I mean, you can hope on it, but you can't count on it. You've got to go get offensive linemen. You've got the two freshman tackles back. Who else is back for sure?
Caleb Warren's back.
Caleb's back.
Acker's back.
Broker's gone. Acker's back, but he didn't play much last year, so you have to ask, what was that about? You didn't build
returning offensive linemen who have played more than 28 snaps. Acker, Pettis, James, Warren, Williams. Assuming Jeremy comes back.
Assuming he comes back, and I think that's an assumption right now. And then on defense, you need guys off the edge.
They got Ivy back, Johnson back, and Pegues back.
Yeah, you need more defensive linemen.
Iton's back.
Troy Brown's gone. It's 2 years in a row that a transfer portal linebacker sort of bailed you out there.
Keys is back. Coleman's back. Sistrunk is back.
Yeah, like I said, you need to go get linebackers. You've got Igmanosin at corner. I guess Battle's gone.
Igmanosin, Markevius Brown are
Prince
the only
gone?
two. Who,
Prince is gone too,
Prince
yeah.
He participated in senior day, so I assume.
Yeah.
No, cornerback snaps. Igmanosin, 520. Markevius Brown, 146. DeMarco Williams, 32. Gerald Stinson, 6. Richard O'Brien, 5. Nick Cole, 3. That's it at corner.
Kind of need to go get another corner.
And at safety, they've got Tysheem back, Ishim back, Ladarius back, Trey Washington back, and then Taylor Groves.
So probably okay there. But look, it's
because they lose Finley, Reese, MJ Daniels is transferring or at least getting into the portal.
Right.
And Deshaun Jenkins participated in senior day.
And you got to get a punter. You got to punt the ball better.
Yeah. I guess Caden Costa's back.
He's hung around. I would assume he's back.
Yeah.
Does Cruz have more eligibility?
No, he's out.
He's out.
I think he's out. I think, right?
He was a big pickup.
Oh,
huge.
He missed 2 kicks all year?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
But my point is that you have a lot of needs. So committing a lot of your resources to the running back position, and I get those are special backs, but you only have, and I don't know that you can, maybe you can fill me in on this. I don't know that spending every single dime of what you've got in NIL is necessarily the smartest thing because
it's not the way to do if you can help it. No,
you don't know that you'll have that exact same war chest a year from now. So what do how do you kind of manage that?
Here's the deal too. The portal is just now opening. There's another window after spring practice, guys.
Right.
You got a spring and a summer portal edition. I mean, go back a year and look when some of these dudes came in. It wasn't now.
Right.
It was later. When they go through spring and go, oh, no, I ain't with them.
Yeah. Spring with a new coach and go, I'm good.
I'm out.
Yeah.
No, this thing's not settled till like July 15th.
So I don't, we'll see. There's a lot there, is my point. And then you have guys on the roster that, probably didn't make a lot of NIL last year that you probably need to give them a little more NIL now. You don't want them to get home after the Texas Bowl and people get to them and go, hey, what about X? And then that seed gets planted. So you've got to take care of the guys that are on your roster. In fact, that's a lot of the NIL need now. That was the mistake that a lot of programs made in year one of NIL was they just gave all the money to the new guys. And that created some locker room issues.
People find out.
Yeah. I'm not even talking about Ole Miss right now. I mean, there are other programs that happened to.
Yeah.
Big time.
One in particular.
Yeah, one in
It's got
particular.
to play a game.
Yeah, that it was something he had to really manage and is still managing as of this moment.
Was mentioned here. I think somebody said it in the stream earlier. Yeah, it was Callie McDaniel for ESPN that mentioned Gonzalez yesterday as a potential 1-1 in baseball next summer.
I can see it.
They had options for the Pirates in this article as Dylan Cruz from LSU, Wyatt Langford from Florida, and Jacob Gonzalez from Ole Miss as college players.
And there's a couple of high school outfielders that are in this class that are considered like
That
elite Bryce Harper type players. I can't think of their names, but I'm sure.
Yeah, in some ways, Gonzalez actually translates better to the pro game than the college game.
Sure.
I mean,
well, he's got
and
pop.
he's been damn good. Don't get me wrong.
He's got pop.
I mean, he sneakily hit like 18 bombs last year.
Yeah, he can run. I don't know.
Getting a little better defensively, but it's still got to come.
Yeah, he got better at shortstop. He did. Because going into last season, I thought, you're a third baseman.
Yeah,
and now I think you're probably a third baseman.
Yeah, but you can hit. So,
but in today's baseball, they want more versatility. So a third baseman who could play shortstop.
Somebody sprains an ankle and he can roll over and be all right for a minute.
But he's got enough pop to play third, and he runs well enough. And now that the shift is kind of being taken away, and some of the
and frankly, mentally, he's even keel. He's never up, never down, just showing up to the park.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of talk about it, not even in a negative way, but just it's so different. But at the pros, that's different in a good way. They're like, hey, that cat's just
yeah.
He's the same on August 31st as he is April the 10th. I mean,
they see the guy that at the college level, they see the guy that's just Mr. Rah-Rah 56 games a year, and they go, dude, you're not going to be able to do that in the minor leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're playing at Double-A Chattanooga, that's not going to work. Your teammates will kill you.
Yeah. Good or bad, Jacob's pulse doesn't vary 5 beats. He's just.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've always told you, I think he's a pro. I think he's a big-time pro. Him and you couldn't go wrong between him and Dylan Cruz, frankly. Cruz can play for me all day. Sign me up. I don't really care about his college numbers.
Well, they're good, though.
Well, but I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if he just laid an egg at LSU. I'd be like, he can still play for me. He won't lay an egg. He's too good to lay an egg. He's a special player.
What do you think Bradfield's going to be like as a pro?
Well, they've kind of made the running a bigger part of the game now with the limited pitch overs and stuff. He makes a lot of contact. He's a very good defender. I mean, I really love his game. I think he's a guy that plays in the pros for a long time. You do too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would take Cruz in front of him.
Just because you're getting so much more.
Well, I get so much pop.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I think he plays in the pros for a long time. Who was the other guy that you said it was?
Wyatt Langford, who hit 26 home runs for Florida last year.
Yeah.
Big-time power guy.
Yeah.
Actually had better contact numbers than you would think, too. Like, he had the kind of season last year that you wanted Judd Fabian to have when he was, like, the big guy coming out of Florida. Is less swing and miss than Fabian, at least.
Yeah.
And big-time power and average numbers. I mean, it was some big OPS numbers from Langford.
Yeah. That was of the teams that I saw a lot of, I didn't see them as much.
Florida.
For whatever reason,
They sort of went oddly under the radar to be Florida.
Well, and they had the other big prospect whose name escapes me right now, who just never really popped on the screen when you watched. The outfielder.
Judd Fabian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying he came in as the 1-1 the end of the season. It was like, he struck out a ton and didn't.
Well, there was just the league was such that there were so many other players who were better than him.
And in a year where pitching wasn't as good as usual.
Yeah.
League pitching was down last year across the SEC.
Like the guys that stood out to me watching a lot of baseball last year, Gonzalez, Cruz, I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Bradfield, the third baseman at Arkansas, can't think of his name. He was a good player. What was his name?
Their whole infield is whatever, because like Battle at short is.
Yeah, but I never really watched him and went, oh, major leaguer.
Because of his lack of offense?
Yeah.
Is that why?
Yeah, and then like the Moore kid kind of had a bad year.
His defense fell off his defense didn't. Offensively, he had really, 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 really fallen off.
The first baseman was a freshman. I won't be surprised if he has a big-time career. The third baseman.
Caden Wallace.
Yeah, he was good. He was really good. But I guess my point is there were so many guys around the league that sort of stood out more than Fabian did when you watched.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee had all those guys that hit.
And through. They
were really good. Yeah, just on and on. They were just guys that impressed in ways that Fabian never really did. And so for whatever reason, I ended up not watching Florida as much. I was trying to keep up, which turned out to be a good thing because Ole Miss went as far as you can go. There were times I was like, why am I doing this? There was a guy at Auburn that impressed me more than Fabian, the shortstop that was there.
Oh, yeah.
He was a good player.
Yeah. Because,
he kind of flew under the radar in a league full of pretty good shortstops.
Well, and because
good.
he didn't have the personality and the thing of, DeSocher on his own team.
Right.
So it's like you're dealing with that whole deal.
Everybody always talked about him, but I was like, he's just so big that it's hard for me to envision him.
I think he won SEC Player of the Year, didn't he?
I think so.
What I thought.
And he was fun, and he had a bunch of big hits, and they went to Omaha, and I get it. But I was watching a lot of times like who could play in the bigs is kind of the way I watched that.
And that
game.
was also such a credit to Butch as a coach that they went as far as they did. I mean, that's the one to put above his mantle because they were not scary in the slightest, but they made it happen. So, podcast brought to you in part by Northeast Spark, NESPARC, service people across rural communities. 2 packages, the Ignite, the 100 Mbps, or the Blaze. It's the 1 gig that powers the Clark Ford studio. Your hometown team bringing you world-class broadband. NESpark.com, 662-238-3159. Phone service, parental controls, network security, and more. So to get the best internet in Lafayette County as well as parts of Pontotoc and Union counties, 662-238-3159.
Brought to you by Pinnacle. They're based in Madison, Mississippi. They've got clients in more than 20 states, advisors in multiple states as well. They provide detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and much more. At Pinnacle, investing's treated like a commodity. Decisions are made using objective information and research, not emotions. It's mypinwealth.com, MYPINN wealth.com. John Edwards of Regency Travel Incorporated is the guy to go to if you want a special trip that creates a lifetime of unique memories. Just get in touch with him, give him some parameters, give him a budget. He is going to help you with your trip. Make it so easy. 901-494-3387 or send him an email at jedwards@regencytravel.net. Oxford's newest Greek restaurant on the square, Opa, is the perfect place to plan your Christmas party. Featuring fabulous food and craft libations, let Opa host your company dinner or festive party event. They can accommodate up to 200 guests. For booking or catering information, call Jeannie, 601-421-7147. I'll have a mailbag up later today. It's brought to you by Whitney McNutt of Tommy Morgan Incorporated Realtors, serving you for all of your real estate needs in Oxford and Tupelo. Whitney sells condos, land, commercial, and residential family homes. You can reach her at 662-567-2573 or 662-842-3844. And we're brought to you by Service Specialist Staffing and Recruiting Agency. They've been connecting great job opportunities to candidates since 1967. If you're on the job hunt, whether you're seeking an entry-level position or you're a seasoned professional, they've got opportunities across the board. They can also help you find quality, hard-to-find talent for your business. You've got nothing to lose. Payment is solely contingent on if you decide to hire a candidate that they send. 662-832-5138 or servicespecialistltd.com. And don't just accept what you see, but imagine something new. Step forward, chase after a better version of yourself. Every day, Corinth Dental is helping people reinvent themselves one smile at a time. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures, including Invisalign. These clear aligners are the virtually invisible way to improve your smile. Call Corinth Dental for a no-cost digital scan of your teeth. Let them show you the way to a straighter, healthier smile. 12 months, no interest, no down payment financing available at corinthdental.com. And if you're a displaced corporate executive or you're wanting to put your career in your own hands, maybe you're an experienced entrepreneur who's looking to diversify, Andy Ledecky can help. Call Andy. Put your life and career in your own hands. It's 100% free. You have nothing to lose. Find your perfect franchise at myperfectfranchise.net. Andy at myperfectfranchise.net or call 404-973-9901.
Podcast is brought to you by G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area, and they offer MedSync to fill your prescriptions the same day each month. Take care of you. One trip to the pharmacy, one delivery. Everything you need when you need it with G&M. Also, those who need the individual doses package, they will take care of that. It can save lives in some instance, maybe your parents or a loved one that needs that extra step. And if you're going to transfer your medications, one call, that's all it takes. That's G&M. They're in Oxford, 662-236-2222. Is A.J. Brown on a career trajectory that might end up with him in Canton?
Yeah.
Got to keep going. I mean,
but the trajectory.
I'm curious what wide receiver requirements are in this era. The way they throw the football.
Right.
I mean,
do your numbers have to just be eye-popping?
Yeah.
And his are pretty good.
He had a day Sunday against Tennessee.
He's a beast. He's one of the 10 best receivers in the league, in a league full of elite receivers, man.
He is.
There are some great wide receivers in the game today. Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. God, that LSU team was loaded.
Yeah, they're all right.
Wow.
It's not a shock that they were maybe the best college team of all time.
And then Burrow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Speaking of Devontae Adams, your Thursday night game this week is the Raiders at the Rams, who may be starting Baker Mayfield at quarterback on Thursday night. So, I mean, the Rams are like 3-9 or something, but
the Rams just every day they walk into the building and they go, "Hey, it was worth it."
Yeah.
Right?
It's going to take a minute, but it was worth it.
It was worth it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I know we kind of suck right now.
Just look at the banner.
Yeah.
Look at the trophy. Look at your ring.
Yeah.
It was worth it. We're just paying for it now.
We got to figure it out. But
it's kind of like the Ed Orgeron LSU thing, where it's like, so you sold your soul. We did. It was worth it. Paying for it now, but it was worth it. You get a title. I mean, like Mississippi State baseball last year. There was at no point where they're like, it just wasn't worth it. No, worth it. Got a championship.
You just take your beating and move on. And
we always had last year. And that lasts for 2 or 3 years.
It does. Yeah. You're fat and happy for a while.
Sure.
Vegas, a 6-point favorite over the Rams tomorrow night in LA for that one.
Yeah, and big game for the Raiders. They
got to keep going.
They got to keep going.
There's only one more kind of loss on their schedule if they play well. Now, look, they can lose to anybody, but they got a shot.
They could beat Kansas City.
They got a shot to make the playoffs, and they're
real shot.
They're fun if they get in. That's
a real shot. Yeah,
that's a thing there. Dallas is a 16.5-point favorite at home against Houston Sunday in the NFL. 16.
Damn, that's a lot of points.
Jesus. Dude.
That is a lot of points.
Buffalo, a 9.5-point favorite at home against the Jets on Sunday. It's a big line.
A lot of points.
That's a big line. You're thinking Jets over there.
Yeah.
Do we have Neal's picks this week?
No.
Okay. Cincinnati -6 against the Browns. Detroit -2.5 at home against Minnesota on Sunday.
Oh, Lions are playing really well too. That's an interesting
I
game.
apologize to them a little bit. I was harsh on them early.
Really playing well
I think
lately.
they're 5-7, but
Jared Goff hasn't been bad.
No, he's been fine. Now the Rams were never going to win a Super Bowl with him.
No.
Right move.
And the Lions won't win one with him either. But they can kind of build around him while they wait to get their franchise quarterback.
Eagles -7 at the Giants on Sunday.
Ooh. It's an interesting line.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like Vegas knows what it's doing, huh?
Pittsburgh -2.5 at home against the Ravens on Sunday.
Well, Pittsburgh's playing really well, and Lamar Jackson's probably out.
Yeah. Kansas City.
The Ravens might be in trouble. If he's out 3-4 weeks, the way the Bengals are playing.
They can't sustain it.
Yeah.
Kansas City -9 on the road at Denver on Sunday.
Denver's bad. Denver doesn't have its first-round pick. Seattle has Denver's pick.
I saw that this morning, that the Rams and the Broncos have top 4 or top 5 picks, and neither have their pick for next year. The Saints just waving down here at number 10 currently also.
Man.
Yeah.
And see, it's worth it if you're the Rams.
Oh.
But if you're the Broncos, it's a disaster.
5 more years of this.
It's a disaster.
You're just starting this process. It gets worse.
Yeah.
I mean, you just went. The roller coaster just left the station.
Well, and you didn't buckle up.
No, it's
You're worried. 'Cause you're like, is this thing tight enough? I mean, the Rams are at least like, yeah, we're good. We're gonna go for a ride here, but we're safe. Totally different deal.
San Francisco at home -3.5 against Tampa Bay on Sunday without Garoppolo, who got great news. Maybe back for the playoffs.
They were worried it was a Lisfranc, and it's not.
It's not. He's potentially okay.
You know,
I have a hunch he's going to rehab effectively.
Yeah, he's going to do it right. And the guy they've got might be able to get them enough to get them in, and then they're a scary team.
Oh, they're scary as hell if they get in.
Yeah.
They're the biggest challenge to Philadelphia if they get in. Miami -3 at the Chargers on Sunday. That's your night game on Sunday night.
That's a good game.
And then your Monday night game is the New England Patriots at the Arizona Cardinals.
Woof.
Monday night is not worth the contract. Their games are abysmal.
What are they doing?
It's awful. Sunday night gets some good games.
Sunday night's like bonanza. Monday night's like, oh, no.
And then next Thursday, looking ahead, 49ers at Seahawks.
Okay.
On a Thursday night game.
Yeah, there. Sure. Sign me up.
Yeah, it's okay. Then quickly, as we do every Tuesday or Wednesday, and I forgot about it yesterday, your playoff matchups in the NFL this week would be the Buffalo Bills getting the bye over the Kansas City Chiefs as of right now. They would be the 1 seed. And your playoffs would be the Chiefs entertaining the New York Jets in the first round.
Okay.
The Ravens hosting the the Miami Dolphins in the first round.
Ooh,
but
the Ravens would be hoping for.
They're not going to hold there. I don't.
No,
think.
They would be hoping for a snowstorm.
And currently, the Titans hosting the Cincinnati Bengals in the first round.
It's not good news for the folks in Nashville.
That's not the one you want right there.
Does not seem to be a good matchup for them.
No, not at all. The first team out right now would be the New England Patriots at 6-6.
That's not going to hold.
They host a tiebreaker over the Chargers, and the Raiders are 1 back. Okay. That's the one to watch. In the NFC, obviously the Eagles at 11-1 would get your bye, and then you have the Minnesota Vikings hosting the Seattle Seahawks today.
Okay.
You would have, as of today, the San Francisco 49ers hosting the New York Giants.
Oh.
And you would have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Like you said yesterday,
huge
game for Dak.
What a big moment for Dak Prescott's career.
You just got to get through that game.
Oh, you have to. If you lose that game,
you got to go to Tampa and win a football game.
If you lose that game, your legacy is just.
And then head to Minnesota and see how it goes.
But you got to go win a playoff game. Frankly, got to go win 2 playoff games.
Ooh. Got to get to the NFC title game.
If you're going to be put in that upper echelon of quarterbacks and really stick with it, you've got to get to the title game.
Okay.
You could lose there and be fine.
The only other
you don't
team,
think the Cowboys would be received poorly in Philadelphia for an NFC Championship game?
That would be that'd be. Places where they are not giving Yadier Molina a standing ovation.
That's where you if you take your kids to that game, listen, you're going to hear things today.
I have accidentally walked into, because I didn't know it was that until I was there, and I guess the flag on the wall should have been an indicator. I walked into an Eagles bar one time during an Eagles-Giants game.
Oh.
Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't, forget wearing blue. You better have green on when you walk in, or it's get the hell out.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're in here or you're not. You're one of us right now, or you go eat a burger somewhere else. One or the other. So,
like, you walk into that stadium wearing Giants gear or Cowboys gear.
You wouldn't be an opposing fan in that stadium, would you?
No.
I mean, all seriousness.
No. Like, I've heard you can't even go to a Phillies game, really.
Really?
As, like, a Cardinals fan or a Cubs fan.
On, like, July 5th?
That you'll get harassed. That it might be quasi-playful, but you're getting harassed.
And that's not an NFC title game with the Cowboys.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
city of brotherly love, all right.
Hey, look, if you get a championship Sunday of Dallas at Philly and
Kansas
some
City,
combination,
Cincinnati or Buffalo or whatever,
give me some combination of those 3 teams, sign me, man. Pop the popcorn.
Yeah,
that day's
it's locked.
I mean, you turn that thing on. First game's at 2.
Yeah, something like that.
You're not over till about 9. After about 7 hours, you're like, whew. That's where that league's special.
Yeah.
When people go, the NFL's boring, I'm like, okay, well, you can make Week 10 boring.
Give it a minute.
But the playoffs in the NFL are rarely boring.
Yeah. All right. Stay locked on rebelgrove.com. Again, guys, it's going to take a minute for all this portal stuff to play itself out. So just chill out. We'll get you what we can when it comes there. Ole Miss basketball returns Saturday.
They've got
Valpo.
They've got a question in the thread.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to it. About hand raised guys tomorrow night.
We have not discussed it at all. I don't know.
If it's done where we can do it, sure.
We have some issues.
So we're doing the show tomorrow morning. As soon as the show's over, we're moving everything. We've got to reattach everything. We've got to learn new stuff. We've got to, I don't know, almost certainly not a McCready and Siskey tomorrow. I don't know what that schedule looks like. So I don't know.
To be determined.
Maybe.
Yeah. We'll update you.
And I know that's not a really good answer, but it's a really honest answer. I just don't know.
Yeah, we'll update you every way that we can on that when we know. But either way, back in the morning, we'll talk to Jeffrey Wright on the show as we do every single Thursday. Be safe. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you then.